Hey there, comic book friends! I'm Travis.
And I'm Ethan.
And this is...
Monster Comic Reviews.
No capes.
No capes? Is it no capes? Oh, okay.
No, it's both.
Okay.
Because we have so few books. 4 issues is all we pulled for this week. With the no DC titles this month basically, and this is one of those weeks that I don't get the one or two Marvel books. So these are actually all independent books.
Oh yeah,
I mean, one's a superhero book, but they're all indie books.
Yeah.
They're all either, well, actually one from just about every company. No, yeah. Yeah, I got one for Image, Boom, Dark Horse, and Oni Press. So yeah.
Wow, all I'm seeing is like Dynamite and Valiant.
All right, let's talk comic books. What are we talking first?
Okay, first up we have The Bounce, issue 5.
You say that like you're so thrilled. I know you just love this comic.
Yeah.
It's like almost torture to have to read this comic, huh?
Not really, but it's not exactly good.
I find it interesting. I mean, is it like, wow, like some of the other books we're going to talk about? No. But I think it's interesting, and I found this issue even more interesting because, yeah, that's why. That's why I found it more interesting. There's naked people in it. Oh, our I don't know, what is she? Fortune teller, psychic person. She's more than a bit frisky. And she takes our main character to different places. and the catalyst to get to those other places is sex, it seems. At any rate, that is not why I thought it was interesting, though. Thank you very much. No, it's the kind of naked I find boring in the fact is that it doesn't matter whether she's wearing clothing or not wearing clothing. Everything about her is gravity defying. Just doesn't work that way. Someday you'll find out. At any rate, no, I think what's interesting is the guy who's running the experiments that's working for the government, but he's like a private contractor for the government. He's obviously jumped to some other reality and come back from that reality. And that's one of the reasons why he's eating the frickin' salamanders and the chocolate milk stuff that he's drinking and whatnot. Because he's kind of hopped back and forth and he's got some issue going on because of that. Like, he was over on one side too long or something, I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
That whole thing that's going on there I think is really interesting. That part of it is the part that's intriguing for me. What's going on with the bounce at this point, I don't really care, other than I'm curious about this other reality that his friend Xander's stuck in, where everyone's a superhero except for Xander. So, did he get spliced with somebody from there, or is he actually from that other place and has been transported over? Kind of the implication that this other character, this guy that's the private contractor working for the government, has implied that he's, at one point he was chatting with some other superhero kind of dude, and that guy kind of burnt out or whatever, and he had to go back and snatch another one, or I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
And there's their failed experiments look pretty awful too.
Yeah.
Like as a guy's like slagging up a pile of ooze. Yeah, as they're like scraping up his ooze trying to figure out what happened.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So there are parts about this book enough that to me continue to make it interesting enough that I'm going to continue to rate it. You're right. No investment really in the main character because the main character, is kind of a dope.
Kinda.
But he's starting to ask questions. It seems to be he's starting to become less about being a dope and more about, what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Granted, his choice of ways of trying to figure out what's going on, lucky for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but yeah. So, you got anything else you want to add about the book?
Not really.
You're just not really keen on that book?
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I just haven't liked it in general.
Yeah. Okay. What would you rate the book? What would you rate the book? You don't like it. What would you rate it?
I guess I give it a 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though you don't like it?
Well, I don't dislike it.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 3 also. I think there are intriguing things to talk about in the book. Yeah. Anyway, next we're gonna talk about BPRD, Hell on Earth. This is issue 111.
I did not like the art in this book. Normally I don't mind it, but this time it was just
Tyler Cook is the new artist, and he's going to be on for an arc probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't too excited by it either. I'm not. I mean, it conveys what needs to be conveyed, yeah. But you're right, people's faces are wrong. They all look kind of the same. Their noses are kind of weird curled.
I mean, yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
It's just,
well, no, we can't because faces don't look like that.
They're all
and they're all
when their eyes aren't dots, they're perfectly circular because they're going.
Yeah, like they've all been hit in the head with a ball-peen hammer.
Right. So,
Look, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. That's definitely a focus. What else? Anything else about it? Or is it just the art sucks?
No. The story is intriguing. That's it. Liz, yay, Liz.
Liz and the freaky doctor who wants to heal people by actually letting them be dead and then reanimating them.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And she's in a bad place. Especially
oh, really? Giant third-eyed tiger thing and a morgue full of dead security directors? Yeah, the hospital directors will never let you get away with it. Well, that's probably true. Too bad they're dead.
Yeah. And he goes, I love it. She falls for one of the oldest tricks in the book.
I know.
Just go through that door right there. You can tell them everything. Of course, she stops at the door, and it's a door deeper into hell, basically.
Okay, you're in the basement, bottom, back door floor.
Hopefully she gets her powers back, huh?
Yeah, now would be a good time for her to redevelop her pyromancy.
Yeah.
Of course, she still has freaky sage in the back of her head, so
yeah, she's got issues.
To some degree, he's trying to use her for her own means, meaning he probably, unless something's beyond his power, which, granted, I mean, for obviously you and me, giant creepy, unarmed against a giant creepy mutant tiger, that's pretty much imminent death.
Right.
But for Liz, I don't think that's beyond
right.
Liz and or ghosty guy's power.
Yeah. There's like 4 storylines going on in this thing right now, right? There's Liz's thing. There's of course we had our group that was in Chicago, which they've managed to get back, you know, basically. You've got the guy with the funky sword who's Howard who still thinks he, you know, I mean that whole thing. They're getting prepared to go to New York. Right now it's a debate on whether or not they're going, and pretty much the more experienced people go, look, we know we're going to get sent into New York. It's just a matter of time. So you're going to have that plot line that's going to be kicking in because New York's gone totally black and evil, basically.
Like Chicago.
Worse than Chicago. They actually have some communications with Chicago. They got nothing with New York. So you got that, Liz.
We'll see what.
And on the cover, you got the little girl who obviously has some spirit that's haunting her or harassing her, and the whole adoption and thing that's going on too. So there's a lot of really interesting story-wise stuff going on. So I'm still enjoying the comic from a story standpoint, but you're right, the interior artwork
is nasty.
No, I'm not going to say it's nasty, but I don't care for it. It's a cartooning type style. It's really simple.
Yeah.
And not simple in a kind of beautiful kind of way that like Six Gun is. He's actually done. He's the only person to do a single stand-in issue. He did a single issue of Six Gun.
Yeah.
And we were kind of shaky on the art when he did that too. So yeah, this could be a rough 4 or 5 issues that I think he might be on until they cycle into another artist, and hopefully that's sooner than later. They cycle into another artist. Yeah. So, we'll rate the book.
I think I'd give it a solid
4. So you're saying that this book would be a 5 if it didn't have the art on it?
No. It's just, well, obviously right now it's
the story is good enough that it.
But well, yeah.
I mean, this art drowns the art.
This art goes. I mean, I really, really don't like this art. So I mean, I think you have to get Defenders bad on art before.
He's consistent.
Before I can seriously.
He consistently
before I can seriously start. Before I can seriously start taking away numbers because of the art on the book.
Okay.
Especially when the story is good like this.
I'm going to give it a solid 3 because for me the art does detract from it. When I'm reading it, I look at it and I go, okay, can't recognize whose face from whose face sometimes.
Oh my gosh, Liz and the other lady with the bulldog look so similar. It's like, whoa.
Liz, the other lady, and the bulldog look all the same. Is that what you said?
Liz and the other lady with the bulldog.
Okay. Yeah.
Ouch.
So like I said,
not that bad.
Yeah. What are we talking about next?
Okay, next up we have Six Gun Gorilla, issue 4 of 6.
Loving this book still. This is one of those few books where I read through it and I go, this story is really cool and everything, but I want more action. and normally I'm not like, give me more action in a book. In this book, I want more action because I want to see the gorilla shooting more things. Because I love it when you see the gorilla shoot things and it like just, there's a hole that just freaking vaporizes everything. It's like the horse's head, it's like the nose.
Is awesome.
And a little bit of ear here and whatever. It's like,
I love that scene, you know, where they have that's awesome. The fact that the ways they come up to, of course, it's for war, but to escape physics.
Right.
The whole, that's cool. I love watching freaking, you know, as he's like, this man is about to shoot me, right? And the girl pauses him repeatedly. Right. I love that, you know, as he just kind of leans back as the girl shoots through. Yeah, I really like the art in this book too.
Oh yeah, it's just it's a fun book. You read it. I mean, there's actually some serious mystery going on here. You got this second pocket watch seems to have shown up, so it's like, you know what? You know what's going on with that hopefully we'll get to discover. You got these other different Denzians. They're in this place. You got the gorilla going all kind of metaphysical with the whole. It's not just about you. Almost to the point where you want to slap him.
Right.
You know.
I'm just like, okay.
But he has a point because Blue or whatever the heck the guy's name is pretty self-obsessed that everything has to do with him and him only. You know, so there is that. It's just an all-around great book. I can't imagine why you would be picking this book up if you aren't picking this book up. You're just kind of silly.
While the gorilla's metaphors repeatedly do annoy me, I love how you know, the main character's like, right, and he's like, no.
Right.
I just like, he's like, yeah,
I get it.
Here, and he's like, no, just no.
It's got nothing to do with you.
You know, I love the natives.
Yeah, whatever the hell they are.
Scary. Scary.
Yeah. And another thing's great is the guy that was running the ninjas, you know, he comes to clean up himself.
Freaking Pale Rider.
I love, yeah. And I love his anti-psionic weapon. It's a brain in a jar. He pulls out a brain in the jar and it's like, the gorilla falls over sideways because, of course, he's obviously got some sonic ability type stuff going and it shuts him down.
I love the fact that they call him Pale Rider as in, you know, death.
Right.
Like, that's awesome.
Right. With his multiple arms
with
and stuff.
His freaky tattooed little arm. Just like, she's like, I'm gonna kill you, right? He grabs both of their arms. She's like, oh, genius, now what are you gonna do? He just kind of slaps in the face. Right. Like, psh, it's just like, not punches her, it's just kind of slaps her. It's just like, woman, bam. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. There's just a cool comic.
Yeah, no, it
with all kinds of cool stuff going on in it. Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll be right there.
I think I'd give it a weak 5.
I give it 5.
Yeah, I'd give it 5.
Fun.
I mean, because it's not anything deep or anything, but it's fun. I mean,
yeah,
I
it's just
read this, it's like, It doesn't ever go on for too long. I mean, I like it.
Yeah, good stuff. And finally, this time we are going to talk about The Sixth Gun, issue 34.
Yay. Yay. Nasty. Okay, wow. So, I mean, you know, there's those things out there, and people are like, even saying their names. Saying their names. It's bad. It's bad. It's a bad thing. Brings on bad stuff. You're like, that's just superstition. If people didn't believe that, then that probably wouldn't be like that.
Right.
The Sixth Gun is scary as hell. I mean, granted, Becky is in the dream zone,
right.
But it's a freaking dream, and the gun is morphing into reality.
Yeah.
On the other hand, that's cool that it kills all them. They're like, oh, we're gonna have to raise all these people so they can kill everybody.
Right, we're gonna wake them all up,
like,
right?
And then they're like, oh, too bad they're dead.
They're all getting vaporized, right? Their spirit bodies. It's like, wait a second. You said if their spirit bodies get hurt, it doesn't hurt their solid bodies. Well, yeah, that's what I said, but obviously this is more powerful than that as it's hosing them. Hey, I thought you'd be happy with the fact that, like 28 issues later, the Thunderbird's back.
Right?
The spirit of the Thunderbird.
Yeah.
So Colin Budd didn't lie to you when they said, well, yeah, that stuff's coming back. Yeah. That's cool. Of course, the spirit of it, but of course it hoses down everything.
Blah, 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 blah. Ayo.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's really exciting. Becky is such a kick-ass, strong character. She's just awesome. Mm-hmm. I mean, she is so awesome, and in this, she just absolutely... Well, she owns it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of course, the further question down the road still continues to be, at what cost is she owning it?
Uh-huh.
But it's cool seeing her walk along in this fancy red dress, just smash the stuff. And Hume's guys falling right in line behind her, and it's like, and they're like, hey, you know what?
Like
that gun actually works better for you than it does Hume's.
Yeah.
You should just, they're basically implying you should just keep it.
No, I'm now punching myself
Of course, it's her dream. It's the six gun trying to mess with her.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm proud of myself in the house for not realizing this early. I'm like, they're six, so totally thrown off of that. I'm like, really, these 4 guns are always seen together. They're the freaking 4 horsemen of apocalypse. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
It's like the very flames of perdition, the pestilence. I'm like, wait, pestilence?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like, I can't believe.
Well, those 4 guys, and then of course there's the
Right,
the youth gun, and then the 6th one that rewrites reality.
The youth gun, which you don't even really know the full specifics of. We just know that has something to. I mean, I'm assuming, because we've never actually explained to us. I'm assuming.
Well,
that
we've seen her shoot people,
and then turn all blood red, and then go, oh.
And she gets all healthy.
So I'm assuming it takes the years off of whoever you shoot, but.
Obviously, since they died.
Which is why she shoots the young girls.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
because they work better. There's some implication early on
that
it doesn't work as well to be shooting whatever,
Uh-huh.
or crony people or whatever. So, yeah. Great book. If you aren't on 6 gun, get on 6 gun. Go buy it. There's 5 trades.
you are on 6 gun,
Last
you're
week,
stupid.
this last week, the 5th trade came out. I'm not sure how hard it is to get the first trade right now. I know when I bought that big lot in March from the creators, that they were saying that they actually physically owned the last copies that were out and available for purchase, basically. But they were supposedly, Oni Press was supposedly printing more. So at some point there's going to be out there. But
If you're not picking up 6 gun, you're a fool.
read past that the first trade. The first trade takes...
So good.
Well, I like the first trade, but it takes to the end of the first trade for it to really sink in and it really get firing on all cylinders as to what the heck's happening. And then after that, it's a great ride then.
God, I thought it was good.
Okay, whatever.
I wasn't like, oh, this is okay.
I'm
but
just saying. I'm just
not
saying
gonna pick
that-
it up like somebody.
Anyway, so
Yeah. I give it a 5.
I give it a 5 also. Great book. Great week, really,
Yeah.
for the few books we read.
Mhm.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back next week with, I'm sure, a even smaller pull. Actually, no, it's a bigger.
Is that possible?
It's actually a bigger pull. I think I get like 9 books or something like that. So I'll go back to splitting a No Capes and a monster comic review up then.
I think they'll just both be really short.
Probably. That's okay.
Short.
Bye, everyone.